You look like you need to be taken care of. You look like you need to go to the dentist. You need to look like you need to brush your teeth. You look like you need hygiene. You look like you need help. Tell your man 50 think you out or something, yo.
So I knew I was okay. We sold 11 million records. And he had deals with Jay-Z in them, but Jay-Z ain't gonna never. Yeah, I always tell him all the time, Jay-Z ain't treat you like this.
Oh, he definitely like playing, you know, this nigga.
Jay-Z might not even sound hard enough.
So we
Yayo
just had a, lit. Jay-Z will never take you to a party like this.
I keep going, and then they'll complain, but he's got a good life, man.
Jim Jones just lit a fire he might not be ready to handle. It all started when he tried to clown Tony Yayo for saying 50 Cent takes better care of his artists than Jay-Z does. But what Jim didn't expect was Uncle Murda stepping into the mix. And when Murda talks, it's never just gossip. It's truth from someone who's actually seen both camps up close. Uncle Murda didn't waste a second making his point clear. When it comes to loyalty, consistency, and taking care of your people, 50's got the crown. No question about it. He said straight up that while a lot of rappers switch up the second they get rich, 50's been feeding his day ones for decades. That's not just success. That's power built on real loyalty. He's not just signing checks, he's changing lives, putting his crew in shows, movies, and legit business plays that keep the money flowing for everyone around him. Fans online went crazy after Murda spoke. Comments poured in, memes exploded, and the internet was split in half. People were saying Jim should have stayed quiet because this debate wasn't just about cash. It was about respect, real loyalty, and who truly stands by their people.
About how
Jay don't look.
they'll look up a bleak like Fifth look out for you.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I just want to clear that up. Hoes don't have to.
And then he said he eat his home halal.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm chewing halal on my own.
He eats on his own. I eat on my own too.
Right.
On my own tour. I just came off tour.
Right.
When have you seen Bleak on tour? On his own. Jay-Z is not a bad guy. Bleak is not a bad guy. I'm not saying that. I'm saying to you that Jay-Z was all business with them. When Buck up on his taxes, 50 a piece or more. When Prodigy bought a house and needed more money, 50 a piece or more. Prodigy are paying back. The thing with 50 is, it was business and we was friends. I don't feel like Bleak was Jay-Z friend. I don't feel like Young Guns was Jay-Z friend. It came to a point where 50 was helping Siegel.
The second Uncle Murda stepped in, everyone knew it was about to get messy. Whenever Uncle Murda joins a conversation, someone's reputation is about to take a hit. He's not one for sugarcoating or playing nice, and the way he called things out had fans waiting to see if Jim had the guts to fire back. Meanwhile, Jay-Z's name was getting dragged into every corner of social media, people talking about how once you're not useful anymore, that Rock Nation brunch invite mysteriously stops showing up. That line alone had the internet losing its mind. Uncle Murda wasn't scared to say what others think but never say out loud, that Jay moves like a boss, not a brother, and people either loved him for saying it or hated him for daring to question Hov's loyalty. It instantly became one of the most talked about rap debates of the year. Some fans had Murda's back all the way, saying, he just said what everyone's been thinking for years. Others were ready to fight for Jay-Z's legacy like it was personal. The comment sections were chaos.
The thing about Fifth, he always was just like tight with his money. Eminem, tight with his money. So you learn to kind of save instead of spending. 50 encourages you. You get money, go get a house. That's like Uncle Murda. He's down with us now. He was signed to Jay-Z. He got his first house being down with us.
Right.
He gave me my first Jacob watch and 50 said, yo, don't forget, blow your head off with it. See, 50 he was ahead of his time. That's what people didn't understand.
Half the crowd shouting, 50's the real one, while the other half defended Jay's business mindset. But let's rewind this madness for a second and see where it all began. It didn't start with Jim Jones. Nope. The spark came from Tony Yayo, one of 50's day one brothers, who sat down in an interview and dropped a truth bomb that set this entire storm off. Yayo didn't come with hate, he came with honesty. He said Jay-Z doesn't really ride for his day ones anymore, but 50, he never stopped showing love. That comment hit deep, especially coming from someone who's seen it all. According to Yayo, Jay don't really take care of his people like that. Then he made it clear. 50 looked out for him way harder than Jay ever did for Memphis Bleak. It wasn't even meant to be a diss, but the truth always stings.
but the nigga keep showing up next to the down. That's an indication to me he might have some feelings towards me. That is just everywhere I got an issue. He show up around me. So I mean, you know, get music, because music ain't usually my motivation. My morals come off the curb. So if you see a nigga keep being around, nigga, go fuck when he come around, how your antennas go. So he in a position where he might feel like he did, but he ain't there yet.
The moment those words hit the internet, social media exploded. Debates, reactions, memes, and clips spreading everywhere. Some called Yayo messy. Others said he finally exposed a truth that's been buried for too long. Either way, the discussion had already gone viral, and there was no turning back. So after Tony Yayo dropped that honest take about 50 Cent and Jay-Z, the internet was already on fire. Everyone had an opinion, but things didn't get truly wild until Jim Jones jumped in, and that's when the drama turned into straight chaos. Instead of letting Yayo's comments breathe, Jim took them personal. He didn't just disagree, he turned it into a diss.
Well, a lot of, me from the hood, so people look at Bleak and don't understand the business he's doing, and they always look at Jay like, oh,
yeah, that's right. That's why you got like Yayo talking about, Jay don't take care of. I don't need Jay to go on tour.
Yo, smoke hard coke,
Yo, chill. Yo, chill.
You look like you need to be taken care of, nigga. You look like you need to go to the dentist. You need to look like you need to brush your teeth. You look like you need hygiene. You look like you need help. Tell your man 50 saying you an ounce or something, yo.
You do need
you
that
might
help.
need
That's
2
why,
ounces.
That's why
paid in full. Move. I got a G for every bump in your face. I promise you that.
That's
I promise you that.
Why you worrying about
Peon, you broke. You know
See?
I got it.
During a live chat with Memphis Bleak, Jim started clowning Yayo hard, calling him broke and claiming he still depends on 50 Cent to pay his bills. That energy was pure disrespect, and fans felt it instantly. Jim laughed it off like it was all jokes, saying, "You know I got it." But the tone said it all. He meant what he said. He basically implied that Yayo never built anything on his own, that he's just living in 50's shadow. That kind of shade cut deep because everyone knows Yayo's been loyal from day one. The internet reacted fast. Within hours, the clips went viral. Every platform from Twitter to Instagram was flooded with videos of Jim calling Yayo broke. Comment sections turned into war zones. Some people backed Jim, saying he was just keeping it real, but way more people were calling him out for disrespecting loyalty, something that runs deep in hip-hop culture. And that's when Uncle Murda had enough. He stepped in like a big brother coming to defend the crew, and he didn't hold back. He dropped one line that shut everything down and had the whole internet buzzing. Jay got business partners, but 50 got brothers. Boom. That sentence hit like a knockout punch. The meaning behind it was heavy.
Instagram comments, because these people are made to break you. They want to break artists. They want to break you. Nobody believe you. I was in 50 crib, no roaches and all that, me in a little spot, small spot. Nobody believed in that. He playing Get Rich or Die Trying already in the crib. He had half that done. Like, all right. Once this go off, looking like everybody get confused because they don't think that your dream is gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta, you know what I mean? That's why I respect him, because we had more of an assist. We had 50 Cent. So I knew I was okay. He sold 11 million records. Even motherfucker, he had deals with Jay-Z and them, but Jay-Z ain't gonna never. Dude, I always tell him all the time, Jay-Z ain't treat you like this.
Oh, he definitely like playing, this.
Jay-Z might not even say hard as all.
So we just, the party we was just at in Miami with the Kardashians, Serena Williams, and everybody. We just finished performing. Great time, right? First thing my man here want to say, yeah, lit. Jay-Z will never take you to a party like this.
You might get invited.
Nah, I don't get invited.
I respect Jay-Z and all these guys. I respect.
Murda wasn't just comparing two rap moguls. He was talking about character. He was saying Jay keeps people close when there's money involved, but 50 keeps his circle tight because of loyalty and real history. That's a major difference, and it hit home for fans who've seen how 50 rides for his day ones. You can't buy that kind of loyalty. It's built over time. through struggle, trust, and respect. And Uncle Murda made sure everyone knew it. He didn't need to yell or make threats. His words spoke for themselves. That one quote traveled everywhere. Headlines, memes, fan pages. And suddenly Jim Jones found himself in a position he probably didn't expect. Outnumbered. During a recent interview, both Uncle Murda and Tony Yayo doubled down on what they said. Murda pointed out that Jay never looked out for him like 50 did. No shade, just straight facts. And Yayo backed it up, saying 50 never forgot who was with him when he was broke and hustling in the streets. Those same people are the ones he's rewarding now that he's made it big. Fans filled the comment sections calling Murda's words real talk. They said he was speaking for everyone who's ever felt that fake love from people who only show up when the money's right. Because in an industry full of smiles that disappear when the cameras go off, 50's loyalty stands out like a diamond, rare, solid, and priceless. And now, the entire internet was split. One side defending Jim and Jay-Z, saying 50 just flexes loyalty online for attention. The other side writing hard for Murda and Yayo, saying they exposed a truth that's been ignored for too long. Jim's name was everywhere, and people weren't being gentle. Some said he inserted himself just to stay relevant, while others claimed he's picking fights to keep his name hot in headlines. Either way, the spotlight was blazing, and the heat wasn't cooling off anytime soon. The whole internet was on fire after Uncle Murda stepped in. Comments, memes, and reactions were flying like crazy. Some people were riding with Jim Jones, saying Tony Yayo was just living off 50's name. Others were defending Uncle Murda, calling his words pure truth that needed to be said.
About Fifth, he always was just like tight with his money. Eminem, tight with his money, so you learn to kind of save instead of spending. 50 encourages you. You get money, go get a house. That's like Uncle Murda. He's down with us now. He was signed to Jay-Z. He got his first house being down with us.
Right.
He gave me my first Jacob watch, and 50 said, "Yo, don't forget, blow your head off for it." See, 50 was ahead of his time. That's what people didn't understand.
And right in the middle of it all was Jay-Z, being dragged into a loyalty debate that no one saw coming. Jim's supporters were saying Murda was stirring up unnecessary drama, trying to start beef for attention. They claim Jay doesn't have to post every generous move he makes because real ones move in silence. They said just because Jay isn't showing love on Instagram doesn't mean he isn't looking out for his people behind the scenes. That argument hit hard with Jay's fans, who believe his empire speaks for itself. But the other side, they weren't letting Jim off easy. Thousands of fans were calling him out for jumping into a conversation that had nothing to do with him. The general feeling online was that Jim only inserted himself to get clicks and keep his name relevant. One viral comment said, "Jim Jones running his mouth like he ran when somebody put hands on him," and the replies under that were ruthless. Another user commented, "We all know Jimmy doing the most just to stay trending." And once those jokes started rolling, the floodgates opened. People were posting old clips, memes, and throwbacks of Jim trying to compare himself to rap legends. One post quoted him saying he was better than Nicki, followed by walls of laughing emojis. The crowd wasn't playing fair. Half the internet was defending Jay-Z like their lives depended on it, saying Murda and Yayo were disrespecting a man who built an empire. The other half was clowning Jim so hard it turned into an online roast session. Every new clip, every comment, every meme, the debate just kept growing. But through all the noise, one thing stood out. Uncle Murda's comment had hit a nerve for a reason. When he said, "Jay got business partners, but 50 got brothers," it wasn't just a slick line, it was a reality check. That single sentence carried weight because it came from someone who had lived it, not just heard about it. Uncle Murda had seen both sides. He'd been close to Jay-Z's camp and then linked up with 50's team later. So when he spoke on the difference between business partners and brothers, people listened. He wasn't gossiping. He was exposing the mindset difference between two hip-hop powerhouses. For Jay-Z, relationships in the game often feel like transactions. They make sense as long as the business is flowing. But with 50 Cent, loyalty runs deeper than money. He doesn't forget who was there when times were tough. That's the line that separates family from associates. Fans started connecting dots, bringing up how 50 still keeps the same crew he had from the mixtape days. Tony Yayo, Lloyd Banks, Uncle Murda, all still moving together like a unit. Meanwhile, people were naming all the former Rockefeller artists who no longer speak to Jay-Z, and that comparison made Murda's words hit even harder. It wasn't just about who's richer, it was about who's realer, who keeps it solid when there's nothing to gain. And according to Uncle Murda, 50 is the blueprint for loyalty in hip-hop. By this point, the internet wasn't debating anymore. They were taking sides like it was a boxing match. Uncle Murda even shared how being with 50 helped him buy his first house. That one detail hit fans differently because it showed how real the bond was. 50 wasn't just helping with hits, he was helping his crew build legacies. That's what separates him from the rest. After Murda linked up with G-Unit, his entire career leveled up. He stayed involved in everything: the music, the business moves, the branding, even public appearances. And every time it mattered, 50 showed support. That's the kind of loyalty that speaks volumes without a single word. See, in the 50's world, loyalty isn't just a word. It's the rule. He doesn't treat his crew like temporary co-workers. He treats them like family. You can feel that bond when they're together. The jokes, the respect, the energy. It's real. When you ride with 50, you're part of something solid. Now, when you look at Jay-Z's circle, it's a whole different picture. Jay moves like a corporation, not a crew. You're around when there's business to do. And when it's done, you quietly fade from the frame. That's just how he operates. Look at the history. Dame Dash, Kanye West, Beanie Siegel, all once close, all now distant. It's not hate, it's just how Jay plays the game. For him, business always comes first, and feelings come last.
Build a certain way, but they fool the world, make them think that way, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I wouldn't even say anything, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, there are a whole lot of frauds in the industry. Right. But I wouldn't say anything. The only reason I'm saying something because he's saying something that I'm not. He's trying to tell the world that I'm, you know, that I'm not something that I really am.
But for 50, it's the opposite. Loyalty always takes the lead. Fans have been connecting the dots for years, and Murda's statement made those dots impossible to ignore. He wasn't trying to start a war. He was painting the truth. Because when you really think about it, 50 Cent built more than a brand. He built a brotherhood. When Uncle Murda made that bold statement, Jay got business partners, but 50 got brothers, it hit hard because it wasn't just slick talk. It summed up years of patterns everyone had been seeing. Fans started breaking it all down, and the receipts weren't pretty. Jay-Z has built an empire. No one denies that. But when it comes to loyalty, that's where the cracks start showing. People started bringing up all the names that once stood beside Hav and now barely get mentioned. The pattern was too clear to ignore.
What was your relationship like with Jay-Z? Who were you to him?
Well, basically, I was his right-hand man. You know what I mean? Beyond that, we was brothers. For him not to even give me time, even to act like he didn't know me, you know what I'm saying? For all that I sacrificed, all that my people sacrificed, you know, all that my family sacrificed. You know, I never knew that it'd get to this. Even label me with some statements or some snitching statements. I think that's about the utmost disrespect.
It is, especially streetwise.
Streetwise.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it comes down to this. 50 moves with loyalty first, while Jay moves with strategy first. Neither is necessarily wrong, but one definitely feels more genuine. When 50's team eats, it feels like family winning together. When Jay wins, it feels like a solo victory with contracts attached. And that's why Uncle Murda's single sentence, "Jay got business partners, but 50 got brothers," will go down as one of the realest quotes hip-hop has heard in years, because it wasn't just about money or fame. It was about the difference between building an empire and building a bond. So what's the better way to move, with loyalty that lasts forever or strategy that keeps you on top? The debate's still raging online, thousands of fans dropping their takes, choosing sides, and dissecting every word. But one thing's for sure, this story exposed a truth the whole game needed to hear. Loyalty might not always make you a billionaire, but it definitely makes you unforgettable.